today was really, really interesting for several reasons, but mostly to do with this area down here. So I had the breathing coach session for the first time. He was really great, and was extremely helpful at getting me to understand what my strengths and weaknesses are when it comes to breathing. It sounds really simple, but obviously because seeing it is essentially breathing, and you're just compressing that air with your vocals. It's absolutely crucial to have it nailed down. And we basically went through a whole session. It was basically like an hour and a half, and we've got 2 more sessions coming up. One Saturday and one Saturday after, I think. But what was super interesting is we basically went through a whole bunch of different things where it really calmed me down, like, you know, give me to relax, different things like the muscle, progressive muscle relaxation that I've been talking about on this channel. And then it basically got to the point where the only thing moving was my diaphragm, which was really interesting, because it's like you feel nothing else except that at that point when you're totally relaxed. So that was really interesting. And then he would get me to take these really big breaths. And then what he was telling me, he was saying, you know, up here, because he kept saying up to the collarbone, and I kept not being able to push it quite that far. And then he was saying that's something I really need to work on. And then it dawned on me, this is a bit after it. I know, it was at the time actually. It dawned on me, I was thinking, on all the times when I've had really good vocal aids, I've felt that really solid connection here. And now when I'm talking, I can feel that again. It's not super strong, but when I've had really good vocal aids, it has been really strong. And it got me thinking, it was like, does that mean that my chest is always really tight? And is that maybe one of the, you know, problems that if I solve that, that's going to solve everything? Because when I was testing this out, when I was looking at tongue tension earlier today, I was seeing, because when I do that you know, that or whatever, the tongue, if I'm not getting proper breath support behind it, the tongue kind of stays in, like, it kind of goes back in the throat. But if it's got enough breath behind it, then it kind of pushes it out the way. I'm trying to think how to word this. It kind of has like dip in the middle as well. So if I do, I'll try and do a bad one. Bear in mind, this is still pretty crap, but I'll do a bad one and then I'll do a decent one. So this is without the breath. Na, 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 na. It's like, it's okay, right? But then if you actually include this in it, and obviously you get a diaphragm, like, so that kind of goes down, and then you're breathing kind of into your belly, but it's effectively in your lower lungs, and then you breathe up into your upper lungs as well without your shoulders raising. So you want to do this. Up to your collarbone, yeah. So, and then I'll try it again. Again, it's not great, but there's a lot more behind it, which means it can push that tongue out the way and get the open throat in. So I was looking into this, and I was like, well, does that mean my chest is always tight? And I've always thought that, because when I go to the gym and stuff, and I, you know, do bench press and all that stuff, or push-ups even, I've never really been able to grow this area very well, like the pecs. And that, again, ties into, oh, if your chest is really tight, it's going to be really hard to, first of all, I guess, grow it in terms of gym and stuff. But then seeing through that area as well, because it's really tight, you're just adding to all the constriction. Basically, I'd have all that breath down there by doing the belly breathing, but then it's almost like I can't access it because there's this constriction at this part. So I'm trying to access what's down here, but if this bit's too tight, then it becomes a lot more difficult. So yeah, that was something that was really interesting today. And I was trying to think of ways that I can, you know, I guess get used to breathing into this area, because I would try to, you know, chest, and obviously you don't want your shoulders to rise because it adds to the tension and stuff. But if you're doing you know, your diaphragmatic belly breath, and then going up into this area here and then to your lower back, then that's really good. But yeah, how do you make sure you're maximizing that? Because if this area up here, yeah, as I said, is tight, then you're not actually, even if you take a huge breath, you're not actually getting that part. So I was trying to think of things I could do. One of the things I tried is hanging over my bed, kind of like this, lying back, and then trying to breathe into that. And it actually worked fairly well, to be honest. And I was thinking what would be even better is if I was to actually hang upside down from a pull-up bar or something where you could have your legs obviously really secure. There was nothing in the house like that, but I'll have a look at the gym or something. Hopefully people don't think I'm a bit strange. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, hanging upside down and then trying to breathe in, because then gravity's doing the work for you. I just thought that'd be quite interesting. There's other things you do, like I was looking up this where you kind of do a push up, your hands are back quite far, then you kind of hang like that, and then it's kind of, stretch this area. I know a few Athe and X videos I was watching as well. He's one of those like fitness bodybuilders and stuff. So yeah, really interesting. And so it's like, if this area, as I said, if this is open, then it means I've got enough breath going through, which means the tongue gets pushed out of the way, and then the open throat can work. But yeah, that was something really interesting to say, because I was with my brother, we were singing, and it was like, I'd do that, and it was just terrible. And I was like, well, why don't we try, do what the breathing instructor was saying today about, trying to expand that area up here. So I did that, and I was like, okay, wow, that's actually worked to try and get the tongue out of the way. Because my brother was saying, I'm only using the breath to move the tongue, nothing else. And when he was younger, someone, he's like a chorus, so one of the other choruses, like held his shoulders down, and then he'd breathe up, practice breathing up, and that seemed to work quite well. So Luke was, my brother Luke was doing that. He was holding my shoulders here, and I was breathing up like that. So yeah, that's that. And then the other thing was that in terms of nasal breathing, what the breath coach was saying today is that if you do a silent nasal breath, then you're not using any of the muscles up here to make that sound. So like, instead of this, you don't use anything up here. So he would get me to do it quieter and quieter and quieter till he couldn't hear me, and then I couldn't really hear it. I could just only feel the diaphragm working. And the air going in. So that was really cool, because you don't want to obviously use any of the muscles up here if you can. And I know when I'm doing the examples, it's awful. I get that, but that's gonna improve over time. Because it's like when I've had those really good vocal days, I don't have that tightness. The tongue doesn't get in the way. It's all open. I can feel that connection here. And the thing I'm trying to work with is the breathe fit thing. I thought, well, that's actually quite good, because you're trying to expand this area up here. And when I see the speech pathologist on, I think it's Thursday, I'm going to move from level 2 to like hopefully level 3 or 4. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm seeing the voice physiotherapist again tomorrow, and I'm going to bring up the whole sternum thing. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.